which is sponsored by the Great Plains Action Society. You are tuned in to KWTN 100.9 FM, the Big Voice Radio, Allen, Nebraska, the official radio station of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska. As always, all opinions shared are not a reflection of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska, the Big Voice Radio station, or the Great Plains Action Society.
Intros have gotten really good. That one came out so so easy. But good morning. Thank you for tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about chasing dreams. We'll talk about, our own experience of, different dreams that, we've sought after and different journeys we've taken, of course, because when you have dreams, when you think of your childhood dreams versus the paths that you took as an adult, they tend to look different. So we'll be talking about that, our experiences, why it's important for us to have dreams. But before we do that, we can go ahead and go into our mental health check-in. How is everybody doing?
Just burn it all down, no?
Paint the city red.
I know, right? No, I feel like since the last Bear Moon powwow, I don't know if you guys went out there this past weekend, I've just been dragging my feet, and I'm just, I feel like I'm so behind, but also, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are experiencing depression right now, and I don't know, I feel like this time of the year too is really when we all just feel that depression, and I don't know, how do you guys feel? How's your mental health today?
Well, I feel great. I'm getting ready for midterms next week, so my focus has been on trying to get my classes situated, get all my assignments turned in, and not only that, just retain the information that is being presented to me and comprehend it and be able to use it once I start this business.
Right.
So amongst working, participating in my kids' lives, and everything else that I do with this podcast.
Yeah, just bring your microphone a little bit. We're experiencing some audio, so but please continue to keep talking and we'll figure it out.
Absolutely. As I was saying, getting into the midterms, I'm just fully focused on completing this chapter of my journey, which, I will dive more into as we get in. But yeah, I had a good week off from work. Had an incident actually that happened at work, and gave me some time off, and just been resetting everything and getting ready. So I feel really refreshed today.
Right on.
Well, we don't know what the incident is, but we're happy that you're okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
As for me, mental health check-in, moment of vulnerability, I'm definitely in a depressive episode. I'm coping with that. I'm, going with the waves. Definitely have a lot of triggers that brought it on, so when you have things that happen in life that, bring on those really big emotions, it's just important to, break those down, break down those big emotions, because every big emotion starts with a lot of small emotions. So it's I'm just feeling them, showing myself the way out, making sure that I stay focused on what's important and not staying caught up in those big emotions. But yeah, so moving forward, I love these new little icebreakers, so I want to have one every week. So my icebreaker for this week is, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I don't even know. Man, I think I wanted to be a singer. And then, I don't know, I used to sing a lot. And then, I don't know. I just, I sing in my car a lot.
Can you sing?
Yes and no. I get really nervous.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that keeps me away from really unleashing.
Yeah.
My sister Jess can sing though, and she's really good at it. So I'm always but also I like to sing.
I love that.
But I don't know, I just haven't. And then I see everybody on TikTok and they're sharing their talent. I'm like,
Right. I know.
But I think that was the biggest thing when I was a little girl growing up, is like I wanted to be a singer. And I don't know. I do it sometimes. I don't really unleash the talent because I just get nervous, and I don't know. Yeah. So that was my dream when I was a little girl.
Yeah. What did you want to be, Brandon?
Growing up, I really wanted to do something with sports.
Yeah.
I was very undiagnosed ADHD kid, meaning I was very hyper.
Yeah.
And having all that energy, I fell in love with basketball. Just dribbling it. In Space Jam, when in the beginning of the movie, they're in the little dirt area with just a hoop. That's what I had growing up.
Right.
And unfortunately for me, I wasn't presented with the right height to excel me in the sports that I wanted to go out for.
Right.
But I remember looking back, that's one of the things, even today, I stay in the gym, I stay fit because I just want to be ready in case of a pickup game comes. I got a 14-year-old son that can try to Steph Curry, shoot my lights out, and I try to stay in and hang in with him and try to just get the most out of my body.
Right.
So, that sports thing was my thing.
Yeah.
I still think we can pursue that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
so for me growing up, I also wanted to be a singer. But on the contrary, I cannot sing. I was not blessed with the vocal cords to become a famous singer. But I grew up when American Idol started to become popular.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah. So we would watch that as a family on whatever night it came on. And I would watch them, and I'd be like, I can't wait to get a little bit older so I can go to American Idol, and I'm going to win, and I'm going to tell all my friends to call the number and vote for me, or text the number and vote for me. But it's funny because I, too, like, my car is my studio, and I be singing in there. The shower, too. I have a couple studios, and I be singing in there. But it's funny because you guys have me on Snapchat, so like all the time,
Yeah,
all the time I'll do my little Snapchat videos where I'm like rapping or I'm like singing. Tell me why this one time this guy swiped up on my story and was like, "You have such a beautiful voice," and I was like, "No, I know you lying."
right.
But you don't even have to do all that. I'm not even dating. I wasn't even interested. I thought that was so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking about chasing dreams. So
Yes.
Bethany's over here. So just FYI, everybody. So we're just full air. This is uncut, if you will.
Right.
We're trying to fix Brandon's audio, so you might see her in the shot. You may not. So, but that's the beauty of this, all right. Is like it's real, and this is we're grassroots in a way. So
Yeah. It's in real time.
Yes.
Maybe if I switch to this mic.
Yeah. Go ahead. We'll try to. Let's just try to do this right
Testing.
now.
Yes,
Yeah,
this one's a lot better.
Okay. That's what
I feel like I'm a part of the conversation today.
All right. So we're gonna dive into the conversation about chasing dreams, and I don't know. I mean, does anyone want to start off with like a personal story? Who wants to go first?
Well,
Brandon's currently chasing some dreams.
Yeah.
And I love hearing, his experience. And, we're closer here, right? So as far as like vulnerability, like, Brandon might not share like all of his ups and downs within our lives, but being close to him, it is nice hearing about like those moments where it's like, man, like I'm scared, like this is going on. I have all these outside stressors and stuff like
absolutely.
that. So yeah, but we're super proud of you.
Thank you.
Just so
Thank
you. And I think it's important for you to know that.
Yeah, thank you. It is very important to know. Taking off from there, I do want to thank you ladies for embracing me, believing in my dreams that I have voiced out, and the dream that I am currently pursuing right now. As always, I have to take it back to the very beginning. And just a disclaimer for those, I am going to be mentioning some of my most vulnerable parts of my journey. That was a struggle, but within adversity lies opportunity. I always stuck that quote in my memory bank because it got me through some of my darkest times. At 16, I was sentenced to a 15-year prison sentence, and I was processed in the adult court. So at 16 years old, as a minor, I went down to a state facility. Inside of that journey, I had a choice. I could just be with the cool kids and, this is where we end up. Or I could do something to make sure I never come back, because I had a chance to really change my my generation, being that young and being in there with such wise individuals who some today are not going home. Right. Some of them won't have this opportunity to share this knowledge on a platform like this. So being amongst them, I decided to change. I got word from my family that my mother had a stroke about a week after I had walked into the prison system. So now I'm turning 17, and I already got to put my mind to mama might not be there when I get out. Right. And it was a really scary week, not being able to get a hold of her. Her not answering the calls. I just had to set my mind to like, hey, this is a reality. I'm thinking I'm doing 15 years. Thinking I'm not going to get out till I'm 31 years old. So that really woke me up to, I'm like, it's now or never. We got to get it. And my third week being in the processing center, it's called Oakdale. Yeah, my first
triggered a whole bunch of people on there.
those that know, man, that's the place to go. When you get there, we go to Oakdale. That's the place that everybody's classified and processed through. And I was just trying to get out the cell, to be honest with you guys. I wasn't trying to, I knew I had to do something right, but I didn't know what. And so I was just trying to get out the cell and do my GED testing. And come to find out, I had passed the practice test with flying colors. Because prior to this, for the 6 months I was fighting my case to get dropped into juvenile, I was still going to school at the juvenile detention center. They were, having me do my homework to get my credits to graduate. Unfortunately, I was sentenced in the prison system. There is no high school diploma. It's just your statewide GED.
Shout out to my people that have a GED.
We call it the good enough diploma.
we still did it. We still did it.
Obtaining that GED is what unlocked everything, because once I passed the practice test, I took the real test, and I got my GED. It was just a paper under the door, and you passed. And I was like, cool. But now I'm like, that's what was supposed to get me out. I'm on a 23-hour lockdown. Yeah. 23 hours a day. We get out for maybe 30 minutes to eat and then 30 minutes to shower, and then that's your time. And in that process, I'm like, well, I just kind of screwed myself, because now I can't really get out of the cell. About a year into my sentence, I was shipped to Fort Dodge, and in that facility they had the college opportunity. So I decided I wanted to do something to rebuild myself, and with that sense, wordplay, rebuild, carpenters build. And so I wanted to put myself as a project to continuously be evolving,
evolving.
So,
continuously.
At that time, I jumped into the carpentry classes and I started taking them. The dream was just to get a skill, something that can help me get a job, secure my financial situations, because I know I'm walking out with a lot of debt, and because I have to pay for vandalizing somebody's home, putting people into the hospital, like that comes with what is that called?
Restitution.
Yes, restitution. And the state did a really good job holding me accountable for my actions, so I had to think of a job to like really knock that financial thing down. And a union carpenter on the road traveling, that sounds pretty good when you in a cell.
Shout out to the union workers.
Straight up.
I'm sorry, but I have to say that. Shout out to the union.
And I look for our little shout outs, because they'd be like, shout out to da.
Absolutely. Because it's a lot of different places and people and organizations that helped me get to where I'm at today. And that union life was really, it was something else, man. Because when I had gotten out, because for those that have been in that situation, those that are going through that situation, like, hey, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
You know, if you have a date, you're getting out. Don't know when, but just know that that door will open again. Right. Make sure you're ready for it. And so when I got out, I jumped into the union, and that thing just took me to a whole nother place where I saw my life go to. I wasn't able to travel very far, you know, because of my probation and parole conditions, but I did do enough jobs on the road and I built the Hard Rock here, where it's a different ball game. You're with the best of the best, and you're really getting pushed to do something. And going from apprentice level to journeyman level to foreman level all the way up to superintendent is about a good 30, 40 year process. And I told myself I'm gonna get there before I'm 40. You know what I mean? I'm getting out at 20 years old, and then right now I'm 29. So I've only been 9 years into this journey. Right. But I told myself I'm going to be the boss. I'm going to be the one bidding the jobs. I'm going to be the one organizing everything, because I had, as an apprentice, I worked side by side with other apprentices on the Hard Rock. I worked side by side with journeymen, giving them their tools and getting their stuff ready. And I worked side by side with the foreman, laying out everything, knowing this is what we're going to be doing today. And I've even had the opportunity to be the apprentice and work side by side with the superintendent. So I got to see a little glimpse of what goes on throughout the whole project. And I told myself I can do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
as you should.
Coming from that street mentality of like wanting to be a hustler up to a boss, you know, I wanted to be that boss.
Right.
And I told myself in the right way, I'm going to be that boss. So.
Ooh, I like that. No.
Yeah, because there's
be a boss. No.
Absolutely. Like, I knew it was going to be a long journey to get there. This is 20 years old. I was figuring this out. And so today, that's what this college completion is doing, helping me bid the jobs, helping me be able to think like, you know, I'm owning the company, because I will. I have to manifest my reality and put myself in that position. Yeah. And so I can't just wait until it happens. You know, I heard a good quote. I was in a meeting, and this guy told me, "Why would you ask for $20 an hour when you over here sleeping on the $10 an hour job?" Because I was at not Turpad, Cloverleaf at the time. $10 an hour through J&L. You know, just shout out to all the temp working agencies.
Thank you for giving us jobs.
I wasn't always in the union. But I remember I was just so hungry, and I'm like, I want to move up, and and he was like, "Hey man, you sleeping on this $10 an hour job? Why would they give you a $20 an hour job? Because you're gonna bring a $10 an hour work ethic to that $20 an hour job." And so that's just teaching me that I gotta grind before I get there. I gotta pay my dues. I'm not just gonna walk into this thing and be a boss.
Right.
So I have to put myself in that position today and manifest my reality. So getting into that construction thing, that's to provide an opportunity is the dream. You know what I mean? Coming from prison, not really being able to go to certain places. Like, I have a record. I got X'd out of a job for on a military base. They were doing drywall and framing.
Right.
And I can't pass a background check, so I couldn't go. So I had to sit on the outside just like, man, watching all the guys go in, and then we're dropping them off, and then I got to drive off to a different job site.
Right. And it's rough. It's rough being a felon and trying to chase your dreams too, just because you do have those barriers. And even to this day, I still get questioned about, you know, my criminal history, if you will. But also, like, we're young adults, or I was a young adult when all my troubles, you know, came to be, and now I'm, you know, almost 35 years old, and I still get questioned on it. But also, my past doesn't define who I am today.
Absolutely.
I have gone through a lot, and I think, you know, just your current situation, I feel it resonates with me. I feel that.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I lost a job because of a background check before, but I was like super devastated because they hired me and then they didn't get the background check for like 2 weeks. That and then so like one day they were like, "Yeah, you have to go down to the corporate office." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I go down there and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we have to
let you go."
Yeah, we have to pull your offer, you know. And they were like, "In the future, you could apply again." And I was like, "So what? So you guys can fire me?" But it was great because, you know, sometimes those negatives turn into a positive and you don't realize it, right? So again, going with the flow and breaking down those big emotions. So after they had pulled my employment offer from that, I went straight to a vocational school and I enrolled myself to become a medical assistant, which was like, I don't know, like mind-blowing, because my whole like teenage years and like very early adult years, I was like, I'm never going to be a nurse. I was like, I'm never going to do it. It's not for me. I don't want it. No, no, no. But yeah, I went and then I became a medical assistant in 2015. So I was like 22, 23. And then I worked as a medical assistant while I was in San Antonio. I moved to Tennessee. I furthered my nursing license, and then I enrolled into a 4-year college for my bachelor's in nursing. At that point, my dream was to become a nurse practitioner. I wanted to be the girl in charge. Because when you go to a lot of doctor's offices, you have your PhDs, but for the most part, your provider, I should say, is a nurse practitioner or a physician's assistant. So I wanted to be a nurse practitioner. I wanted to write prescriptions. I really wanted to go into orthopedics because I wanted to reset bones. That's my aggressive nature. I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, you good? Okay, cool. But that was my dream. And as I was going through nursing school, out of nowhere, I changed my major to studio arts. Because sometimes our dreams change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so I had to do my prereqs, right, for nursing. And so I had to take like an intro to music class, which was cool. I learned some stuff, but I was like, I can't wait for this to be over with. And then after that, I did intro to art. And my professor, Miss Donna Woodley, amazing. So amazing. And after I did that class, I was like, I have to change my major. I have to change it because this class made me happy. These other classes, I'm doing what I got to do to pass, but I'm not in it. This isn't my passion. Like, I'm a creative person. Woo. I just almost took a wire out underneath the table, y'all. So dreams change, and I was really hard on myself after I had left nursing, right? Because, you know, I was looking at, if I would have finished and became a nurse practitioner, my salary would have been in the 6 figures, and I'm looking at this art degree like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, I can be an art teacher. That doesn't sound appeasing. Like, I could run an art gallery. I was like, well, that's going to be tough because people don't tend to go to those as much anymore unless you're a part of that, like, passionate community. And now I host paint and sips at my wellness center. So it ended up working out for me anyways. But, yeah, I think it's just important to note, like, those quote-unquote failures are not always a failure. The only time that you fail is when you like give up and then you just never move forward.
It's the, I don't know, like you get scared and you're like, even before, so like in reference to chasing a dream, you know, I always say go big, go big, you know, dream big. It is scary because you don't know necessarily. We have this thought of like, we're going to be successful and this is going to be great. But there's also challenges and barriers and setbacks. Yeah. There's going to be some L's that you're going to take. And I think the act of getting back up is what matters at the end of the day. I think, so in my journey, I took a lot of L's. I just, you know, being a single mom, you know, working 2 jobs, trying to go to college. At one point in time, I was almost homeless. That was a really scary time of my life. But also, I think it was my kids that also helped me and motivated me to get up and better myself, because it's not just about me, it's about them. Right. And so some of the things that I have learned along the way is, yes, the failures are not always failures.
Right.
You learn from those failures and you become better. Consistency, coming and showing up every day, giving 110% wherever you are, whatever field, whatever it is. Showing up, giving 110% of your energy. And you may not see your big day for a long time. Yeah. But if you keep showing up and you're consistent, it's going to come.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what people, we live in a society now where we want the instant gratification. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's not going to come. And self-discipline is the biggest key too.
Oh my goodness.
To chasing your dreams. You have to be so self-disciplined. That was something that I still struggle with today. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, I want to go and buy this and I want to go and buy that. But I'm like, no, save your money because you're going to need that in the long run. You're going to need that. If you're trying to get the house that you want, or if you want the credit that you need, you need to budget, you need to save, you need to do this or that. Also, who you surround yourself with is another key thing.
Yes.
To success, to chasing your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is, who is the Elon Musk. Yeah. So he has like Tesla, right? Mm-hmm. But he himself doesn't hold like any degrees, or whatever. He has a whole team that is educated. And so he keeps them around him in order to be successful. Right. Knowledge is always out there. We are in a society where that is accessible. And I hope that, on the reservations and rural communities, they all have the same accessibility. Sometimes it's not like that, but we do have knowledge out there mm-hmm. that you can access. And I love to do that every single day. I used to work out with just listening to music, and now I have turned to listening to, motivational speakers, if you will, mm-hmm. or like, what do I want to learn about? I mean, it sounds like a nerd to me because it's like I'm working out and I'm also learning about how to put a budget proposal together.
Right.
Or like I know how to do my taxes. Right. Or, so using those little opportunities when you're in the car, when you're driving somewhere, using that time to really actually, listen to knowledge that is out there. That has been a game changer for me in reference to chasing my dreams. So, right. So just a little background. I also, again, have had a criminal history, if you will, but also I have been a server. I feel like everybody should have a serving job at one point in time.
Shout out to Olive Garden.
Yep.
I was the cook. Okay.
Right. I've done the cook. I've done
I don't know if I could do serving, but I was the cook.
I love serving. I'm not even gonna lie. Like it was stressful in the moment, but like on the cool, like serving's a fun little job. I like it. Okay,
definitely. Go ahead. Yeah, no. Went off into this.
I know, right? Now I want some breadsticks and Alfredo sauce.
Squirrel.
Right. No, focus. No. But
not
yeah.
Those dreams. Chasing la dreams.
But yeah. So back to serving. So yeah, it can be a grueling job, and it's you get to see a lot of people's like how they are, and yeah, it's anyways, long story short, so I end up serving, and then I go to college, and then I graduate college, and I kind of am still in the field of like my degree, but I'm also learning that yes, this knowledge is accessible. So if I want to learn about something else, it's there. It's not to say that it's not there. Right. And so I think that's been the most trying to figure out, how to put things together. And then also shout out to Ho Chunk Inc. I just went to I went to their events. I think it was last night. Was it last night? 2 nights ago. So it was 2 nights ago. Ho Chunk Inc. had a community update, and it was developing leadership. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was so cool because growing up, I didn't have mentors. I didn't have anything like that. Right. Where they teach you, what does it take to become a leader? And not only that, you are creating a network of leaders.
Right.
And not only that, you are creating a network of Native leaders
Right.
in your own community, and you're steadily building that economic development in addition to leadership skills that are going to go very far in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought it was cool, and I hope that more reservations or Native communities take advantage of that, because it is definitely, you're going to get a lesson out of that, and you're going to be able to take that throughout your whole life.
It creates a domino effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Mom learned it. As the babies, as the babies are young, you introduce them to this idea of being a leader that's appropriate for their age. And as they get older, it's like, okay, well, let me teach you what I learned. Because now you're in a headspace. Now you have this certain level of maturity where you're able to understand it the way I understood it when this organization taught it to me.
right.
So yeah, that's really cool. That's really great for our community too. So shout out to Ho Chunk.
I know, right? Shout out to Ho Chunk Inc. But just kind of in conclusion to my journey, I have gone through a lot of things,
Right.
but also, like, in a sense of chasing your dreams, no one is going to hand it to you.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if you're Native, it doesn't matter if you're Black, it doesn't matter where you come from, and especially in the business world, they don't give a damn.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn.
Right.
So you have to work hard at it every day. Everything is not afforded to you. You have to work hard. But there are different dynamics to that too as well, in the sense of, like, if you're trying to create your own business, or even it doesn't matter what space. There are challenges that you are going to face if you are from the BIPOC communities,
Right.
if you are a LGBTQIA 2S community member, and there are going to be challenges, and it's not just going to be given to you. It's not going to be handed to you. You got to work hard every day. You got to wake up every single day, and just chip away at it.
Yeah, there's this one time I saw this. I wish I knew who the author was, but there's this image, and I think it was for like a comic within one of like the bigger newspapers. And so it's two people like in business suits, like on like, like when you think of like track, like where you start and then you can see the finish line. And with the two people, there was like verbiage that essentially said, like, we all have the same opportunity, but the one person is just in their suit ready to go, whereas the other person is in their suit, but they have this ball and chain attached to their leg, and then they have all these hurdles on their, their track that they're running or whatnot. And so when you were bringing that up with like the BIPOC community and stuff like that, that's what I visualized was that cartoon, for lack of better words. But yeah, because it can be difficult for us in the BIPOC community, for one, because, it's hard to be like, yeah, we don't have like these role models, or we don't have these examples, because they're out there, but they may not be as well known, or they may not be glorified as much as other people. So but we exist. Successful people of color exist, successful Indigenous people exist, and when you're growing up in school, you might not hear about them. You're not going to hear about all of the inventions that came from the Native community. You're not going to hear about all of the inventions that came from other communities of color. You're going to hear about the inventions that came through colonization in America, anyways. In your other countries, I'm sure that they hear about inventions and stuff that came from their own communities. But here, again, going back to what we spoke about last week, here our history is written with a certain narrative. So but we do exist, and there's great people within our communities, and maybe they're not millionaires and billionaires, but they have a lot to teach. They have a lot to offer. So going back to, my childhood teachings, like, just make sure you take time to sit with your elders. Make sure you take time to listen to your elders and hear what they have to teach, because it's there, and we all have knowledge that can help one another.
Absolutely.
You touched on a really interesting topic that I was thinking about as you were speaking. I'm trying to now put it into words because it was just so beautiful in my head.
Yeah.
You were saying how our history, when it comes to chasing dreams, it's really good to know individually where we come from.
Yeah.
Because as I was sharing in my story, I have to tell you from the beginning, so like on that sense of knowing our history, for me being a carpenter going into this thing, at NICC, they are teaching us how to build a earth lodge.
Yeah.
So knowing the way of not only just the Umaha people, but the plains tribes at that time, how when you look at that earth lodge, when it opens up to the public and you're able to see just because all we had to go off of, all my teacher had to go off of was a picture and some writings that was in the Omaha tribe book. And when you look at what they have created there, him, the students, and everyone that is involved, you can't help but think about back then.
Right.
The lack of technology, but the ability to still, do what we thought colonization brought. But when you look at that was here long before.
It was pre.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like carpentry, and I know in this good book it says that somebody was a carpenter, but
we won't mention who.
But on our areas,
It was
we
Brandon.
actually had carpenters that we just didn't know what to
We
know
didn't
what to call
them that. Yeah. We didn't label them carpenters. Carpentry.
Absolutely.
I would say is an English word, but it probably comes from like a Latin root word or something like that, right? Yeah.
And so to know that that's where that's how it was then, because today I don't think I could imagine building that earth lodge without the help that they probably had of our modern tools that help us construct things.
Faster.
Yep.
Faster.
Because
more
I don't know I wasn't there when they built it, so I can't really say they use this and this.
Right. Yeah.
And so I apologize if I sound like I'm stuttering, and I don't know how to put it into words because I missed that part. I joined NICC after they had started that.
Right.
And also I did take a semester off in between, to take care of that little mental health and that self-care checkup. So
Chasing dreams.
So-
yes. Sometimes you take breaks.
Yes, you do.
And
Yep.
just going off of that, like I believe knowledge without application is just useless information.
Yes.
Because as I was saying, I'm trying to retain all this information. The ways of our people, if we don't apply that, we can put it in the history books and we can teach it to all the kids in the schools. I can tell you how to grab this hammer and how to put it into a nail, into a board, and make that become something. But if you're not picking that hammer up, I'm just reciting information that's not going to really mean nothing to you. So
Oh, that was deep.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how,
Like-
it doesn't even have to be Native communities. I feel like the society overall, we're so consumed with our TikToks and, not to say that's not great, but also like social media has a big role in that. Like how much of your day do you stay on social media?
and it's
When you could be built, you should
not to cut you off short, but you introduced that. I had actually just talked to a friend who, if you program the algorithm of your social media, because I don't know about TikTok, but I do know about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I
He's
usually
like, hit me up. No.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you guys.
Brandon Arreaga.
At me after the show. No, but I use them for like communication devices. Instead of texting, I'll message on one of those things. Sometimes I'll talk to you on all 4 apps, including text.
At the same time.
And we'll have a different conversation in each one. However, with the TikTok, I had a friend teaching me these things, and she was like, yeah, if you train your algorithm to be something, so for me, if I was to look up YouTube videos and TikToks of home improvements or DIYs, do it yourselves, then social media now becomes the tool.
Right.
Because not to scare anybody, but a hammer can be used to break a window, or it can be used to put a nail into a board.
Right.
How you use it is dependent on the person.
Right.
So-
Consumption. It's controlling what you consume.
Absolutely. Balance.
Yes.
So when chasing the dreams, you know, how many hours do we sleep at night?
6 to 8.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking about you guys. I don't want that
no,
down there.
no, I literally
4. No.
I'm about to say 5.5.
5.5. No.
So-
okay, I literally sleep
Like
6 to 8.
3 without all the swiping. But, you know, and so when we chasing these dreams, I only have 5 hours to dream this
Yep.
out of 24 hours.
Yeah.
And now I wake up, I got 19 hours to go get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
so key.
but we got to balance everything out with, like, now I might need 8 hours of sleep because of, you know, the stress on the body. But I don't know, man. I really idolize Kobe Bryant and his work ethic towards basketball, and I apply that Mamba mentality towards my dream, whether it's arts and doing the services of helping others, whether it's the activism and the motivating our people to take back our own identity, or whether it's just for me trying to build a house and feed my community with, you know, the business. I have to apply that same mentality to that dream.
Right.
Because if you really study that man, he was up at 4 a.m. training, and then he
Yes.
would rest, and then he would train again, and then he would eat, and then he'll play the game, and then after the game he'll train again, and then he'll go to sleep for about 4 or 5 hours and wake up, and after time, like you said, time after time, day after day, put one brick down and then put another brick there. Don't look at it, but one day when you look up, you will have a brick wall.
Yep.
Not the
Right.
Donald Trump one, but you will have a brick wall.
That's a whole nother conversation.
No shout out to
And-
him.
No.
You know, because I
Cancel.
believe
No.
that the little progress that you put in over time, like, I don't know if I'm going to get this business started in this lifetime, but I have 2 sons, and I have the formula.
Right.
I have the skill that I can teach to them.
Yep.
And if I do get the business going, they can push it further than I
Right.
could ever have fathomed.
Right.
But it just depends on how much effort am I willing to put into this.
I think what you spoke about, you know, as far as Mamba's schedule, that applies to a lot of millionaires and billionaires, and it don't even have to be that deep, you know. I switched my routine up recently, and now I get up at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. So if you really think about it, 6 o'clock, maybe I have to get my kids to school by 8 o'clock, whatever. That gives me 2 more hours of being productive.
Right.
You know, and it's not even that, like, even just waking up and taking time, going through my, you know, what am I going to do today? How am I going to structure this? And then I go work out after, you know, I take my kids to school. And then I come home and I break my schedule up into micro sessions now. Okay, so I'm going to spend a half hour on this. I'm going to spend a half hour on this, or, you know, so it's continuously keep going with all the projects that I'm doing, because it can get stressful. I mean, and it's not every day. It's not like that. So self-care is a huge piece of that. Putting time in, you know, one of those half hours, you know, blocks or whatever, meditating.
Right.
You know, and I know it doesn't even have to be meditating. It could just be like, just sit down and think about what you're doing, or like being present in the moment.
Yeah.
And then, you know, going about your day. And yeah, I think to me that has been a game changer too for me as well. So
Yeah, I think in the situation that Monica's currently dealing with, along the journey, you're going to have a lot of lows and a lot of highs. You know, I actually, somebody showed me something on TikTok of,
It was the laugh, though. You're going to have a lot of lows and highs.
yeah, but it's just, 'cause I just remembered, I don't watch TikTok.
Okay.
I don't watch TikTok, but I'm about to quote a TikTok. Like, someone showed me a TikTok where a guy was talking about, finding balance, you know what I mean? And you want to balance the highs, you want to balance the highs and the lows. If you look at a heart rate, it goes up, it comes down.
Yeah.
It goes up, and it comes down. And if you try to find the balance in the middle of that, what is that? A flat line.
That's your flat line.
Ooh.
So what he was saying is that life comes with the highs and the lows. For me personally, when I'm on this journey and I'm feeling the stress or I'm feeling the depression, because sometimes I don't have to be clinically diagnosed with depression to still get depression, because I look at the clock and I'm like, as you were mentioning, damn, I'm about to be 30.
Oh, damn.
About to be 21.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm
Forever 21.
Because at one
Trisha
point,
got weak. She threw the phone down and everything.
yeah, because at one time when I was locked in the cell, I'm like, man, I'm about to be 20, and now today I'm about to be 30, and I'm like, I'm still not done with class, I'm still not done with school, and that'll put me into a depression because I want it so bad.
Right.
You know,
Ooh,
and
I feel
yeah,
that.
so it's like,
yes.
so for me, it's like you have to go through that. You just have to feel, like I said, not really. You have to meditate. You don't have, there's nothing I can pray and pray and pray, but sometimes I got to give myself that hour to just feel it and embrace it.
Right.
The stress, you know, I'm supposed to be stressed if it's the good type of stress that's going towards, like, you know, I'm stressing about financials. I'm stressing about time management. Those are good kind of stresses, because I used to stress about, I don't know, my shoelace not being tied. You know, I'm a recovering addict. I used to stress about things that were beyond my control. If I allow myself to just feel it today, then I have the ability to take in everything, and then like I think we were talking about releasing it into
Detach from it.
Yeah, process it.
Yeah.
Learn how to cope.
And just giving
Big
yourself
words.
that time to just feel it. You know, I think that's the best thing for me, is you got to take the highs with the lows, man. We're going to be able to celebrate one day. We're going to triumph, and we're going to, you know, pop the bottles, as they like to call it.
Right.
But, you know, I'm thinking of sports celebrations, you know, where they got the bottle of champagne going
Hey,
around.
shout out to
and,
Isanti
know.
boys basketball.
Yeah, so that's like,
Congratulations.
so I'm thinking about all of that. But and even in that sense, with basketball teams, you have to experience the losses to know how good it feels to hold that trophy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and this journey with chasing dreams, you're gonna feel the triumphs of, yeah, we accomplished it, or we got this far, or, hey, I'm about to walk the stage in May. But you also gotta like feel the lows of like midterms. I'm stressing to get time done, get assignments done, and get everything I can. I can't even make sense right now because that's just what college does to you.
Yeah.
But you gotta feel it. You
Yeah.
gotta go through it, is my point.
And then I think it's important to note too, especially for like our younger generations, is that not everybody's dream is going to be the same, but also sometimes it is. Sometimes we do have the same dream as other people, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to copy someone or that you're trying to be like someone, because, you know, people tend to get like this weird egotistical upsetness when someone else is doing
The
or
same
pursuing
thing.
something the same thing as them, right? But there are collectives, and the collectives is what makes up these communities. You know, like if we only had one doctor in the world, this would be crazy.
I'm so glad you said that, because I
Yeah.
feel like I've seen this in Native communities, and it's like the crab bucket mentality. If somebody's, you know, working towards success, and then other people are trying to drag them down.
Yeah.
But also, like, I've been to New York, I've been to Washington, and you go on every street block, there is ice cream trucks, there's the
Right.
glizzies, you know,
Not the
the
glizzies.
glizzies.
A glizzy sounds good right now.
We're hungry.
I know.
But they're all getting money.
Right.
They're all chasing, you know, they're just, you know.
The way I see it is, there's plenty to eat.
Yes.
But move out the way, I'm gonna get my plate. You know what I mean? And that's the
Yeah.
way I see it. It's like, there's plenty to eat, but I'm gonna make sure I get my plate, because I'm not gonna starve.
But focus on your own plate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
my plate. There's plenty to eat, but excuse me, let me get in here and get my plate
Right.
full, because I can't starve, as we mentioned in previous episodes. And that's just on a competitive level for me. Like carpentry, I'm not saying don't go to them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm perfecting my skill. Here's why my price is this price.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is what you're paying for.
Yep.
I don't know about what they're doing over there, but over here, I'm trying to get my plate full.
I
See,
also. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay, and then so I'm really big on free game. Again, another thing I do on Snapchat. I'm like, okay, free game. So it's almost like the plate, you know, imaging. Like with my plate, like I have so much on my plate, but I'm also like, I will share with you. I will teach you. I will give you these little gems for you to do what you want to do with it. Now, I can't do it for you.
I can help you,
Absolutely.
but
I
I'm
can
not going
help
to do
you.
it for you.
Yes, I can make sure that I can give you the what you
The
need,
blueprint.
right? Yeah, to make sure that you don't starve. Here, take some off of my plate. Here's some on yours, because I'm gonna get that back. Or I already ate mine.
Right.
You know, like I already got it.
I already got it.
I don't know.
I'm
Last
all
time we
good.
gave food away, it didn't work out too well for us.
Oh my gosh! No, you didn't.
Brandon ate the chocolate off the spirit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Brandon with my spirit plate. Man,
She does share. She does share.
It wasn't a real spirit plate though. Just to be clear, Brandon didn't actually eat off a spirit plate.
Are there any closing remarks that you guys want to close this on up with?
So I do want to say one. So I have a couple things to say. One, I will never deter anyone from finishing high school, going to college. That, you know, that, I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but that American dream,
The
right?
educational pathway.
Yeah. So, you know, I've always encouraged like my nephews and nieces to finish high school. I would always tell them it's the one thing that I want you to do. Just finish high school. Enjoy it. Because I missed out on so much by leaving high school early. But also, if college isn't for you, that's okay. There's vocational schools where you'll have a certification within 9 months to a year, sometimes 6 months. There's certifications that you can get like in a few weeks. But that's still something to get you out of the minimum wage and get you into an occupation that is a little bit more livable, right? Because we have an issue right now with our wages not being livable wages. Also, if you don't feel like school is for you and you want to open a business, I fully support that. I support that so hard. But also understand that there's a lot of struggles that comes with opening your own business, and it does take time to run that business and be able to have the type of revenue that you're able to live off of versus just keeping your business alive. So make sure that you get resources and that you have people around you to help you through that process. And then I had something else to say, but I can't remember. Oh, happy Women's History Month.
Yeah.
Yes. Wednesday is International Women's Day. I do paint and sips all the time, but I will be posting my paint and sip specifically for Wednesday, March 8th, International Women's Day. So if you haven't liked and followed the Moon Wellness and Company Facebook or Instagram page yet, feel free to do that so you can see what that paint and sip will look like.
It's fun too. I really liked going to the paint and sip, and
I love
really,
them.
Yeah,
it's very healing for me. And I feel like it's very healing for the people that come too, but it's very healing for me.
Yes. Brandon, did you have any closing remarks in
Absolutely.
regards to chasing your dreams?
When on the journey of chasing your dreams, wake up, because if you're still sleeping, you're sleeping on yourself, and time waits for no man. So when you see something, when that dream becomes a vision that only you can see, free it. Free your vision however you see fit.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you got to apply the footwork. A vision without footwork, a vision without action is merely a daydream. So without that footwork, ain't nothing going to happen.
Right.
Put in that footwork, and then in the words of the late great Nip, run your marathon.
Ooh,
Because
the
it
marathon
doesn't-
continues.
Because it doesn't, in this journey, we only stop when we put a lid on it. Being a continuously evolving project just means that, you know, there is no limit. There is no roof. There is no stop. I'm going to pass this on to my kids, and they're going to keep going. And they're going to pass it on to their kids, and they're going to keep going.
Right.
So apply yourself, and don't ever stop. Don't ever give up. Just because the world don't see your vision, change their prescription. Don't change yours. Never dilute self, and stay blessed.
Love it.
Period.
Love it. So I just want to repeat back to everybody that watches that we are on Spotify, we are on iHeart Radio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. Gosh, what else are we on? We're on YouTube. Tune in. So please make sure that you tune in. And yeah, I don't know what else there is to. Maybe there's some plugs that you guys want to do real quick while I cue this up.
Can I just say happy birthday to my best friend? That's it. I just wanted to say happy birthday to her because I love her so much.
Happy birthday.
Shout out to her for being there and seeing me go through chasing my own dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, I hope everybody has a fun and safe weekend. We'll see you next
it's
Friday.
the weekend.
It is
Yeah. Friday.
Yes, it's Friday.
I forgot it.
Yeah.
I have this weekend off.
And we'll see you next Friday.
Yes. So you can hit up Great Plains Action Society. We're on IG. We're on Facebook. Also, if you guys have any suggestions, you can hit us up at Indigified Podcast at gmail.com. We are also looking for sponsors. So if you have a service or maybe you just want to shout out, we are working to get that together. But we would love to sponsor your business, your organization, you individually. So please hit us up and let us know. And so next week I'm not sure what our topic is for next week, but yeah, we'll let you know. And yeah, I just want to say thank you for watching, and that's it. That's it.
That's the show. And never
That's
forget, Indigified Podcast started off as a dream, and here we are.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.